Cameras are hot, so we can't say anything crazy
That's
now.
a fact. We can't.
Damn.
Nope.
All right, well, then I guess I can't tell him about. We're here today with Rob Villanueva, the broker, CEO of Surge Realty. Man, I really appreciate you taking the time out today.
Anytime, my brother. So my name is Rob Villanueva, the CEO of broker at Surge Realty. I've been licensed for about 8 years now. Born and raised from Queens, New York. Got parents from the Dominican Republic.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm very fluent in Spanish.
Si hablamos español.
Hablamos español. Okay,
Sí.
Joe. Damn. So we're doing the interview in Spanish.
Oh, Spanish after this.
I have about 52 agents. My brokerage has been around for about it's going to be 3 years, actually
Wow.
May 15th.
Wow,
So it's been
congratulations,
a blessing. Thank you, brother.
man.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We actually met through your cousin.
Yeah.
And we hit it off after that, and like they say, the rest is history.
It was history after that. It was crazy. Because I just started and just was trying to figure out Surge. And I saw your work, through my cousin, and I was like, hey, come see what you got over here. And then, like you said, the rest was history.
This is something that you've heard it before, will probably change the landscape of real estate moving forward.
Yep.
And, for those of us who are watching this who don't have a real estate background, can you give us a little bit of a breakdown of what just happened with this recent settlement?
So the NAR came to an agreement or settlement, I will say, of making a few changes in the industry. And just to name two things that we're looking forward to the change is one, in the MLS, which is a system we use as agents and broker, we can't show what the other buyer agent is going to get paid, right? And that's more like not to push the agent to push their client to get paid a certain amount. But you can still call the agent, the listing agent, and figure out how much the payout is going to be. And then the second item will be you have to get your buyers to sign a buyer's representation agreement, which if you're practicing real estate correctly, that was something that we
already
was already doing. Yeah, but now it's more enforced. The consumer are very familiar with the process now. So, it's just a little bit more work, but if you've been doing what you've been doing, you should be fine.
And there are different sides to this. You have one side who may be benefiting, and then another side who has to adjust the way they're doing business. And we're going to delve deeper into that as the conversation continues. But this is a massive thing that will be changing, or most likely, nothing's set in stone yet, right? But will most likely be changing the way that, especially on the buyer's side, that business continues.
Yep.
And for those of us who aren't real estate professionals, why should we care?
I guess because now, one, the media blew this up out of proportion with some false information talking about the 6% is out the way. The real estate industry for realtors and brokers
it's crumbling.
It's crumbling. But at the end of the day, you look outside, there's real estate. Where we at now, it's real estate. People's always going to need a place to live or run their business. So, it's just now the consumer they're more aware of certain things now, especially the way things broke out with this news. So us as agents, now we just have to show our value and why you should use us for many reasons, for one of the biggest purchases of your life.
And honestly, as a consumer, you hear people say that, oh, I'll just buy the home myself. Don't do that.
No.
Especially if this is your first transaction. Don't do that because the market is so wide, even in your own local area, that yes, you might find a listing searching through on HAR or Zillow, but there are things that go beyond just the turning on the lights and opening the door, involving if there are issues with the home, with the foundation, with the neighborhood, with certain upgrades that you might need if you're a buyer. And so just even as a person who, I don't have my license, I'm not a realtor, I have no benefit whatsoever, just find someone you trust.
Okay. For sure. We have the resources, we have the connections, we have the relationships with people. So it's sweet when things are smooth, but if you hit that bump or there's something that you could negotiate to benefit you as a buyer and you don't know, you're screwed. And again, it is the biggest purchase that you will ever make in your life.
And even as someone who is filming real estate as my business, I get to hear and get to be educated by some of these top producers, and the likelihood of it being a smooth transaction
Yeah,
is
slim. It's
slim.
very slim. Yeah, you're right.
Usually, it's the norm for things to go awry.
Yeah.
And so you need that representation, especially like Rob said, this is the biggest transaction you'll make. And so you need someone who's a level-headed person on your side
Yep.
to help you.
Exactly.
Who that ends up being, you find out whoever that is for you.
It'll be
But
me. It'll be me.
yeah, it could be him. Now that we talked about consumers,
Yep.
what does it mean for agents?
Man, for agents, it's gonna be a rude awakening. I will say, it's already happening where agents are kind of falling off and going to their 9 to 5 or other industries in out there, and either they're just gonna walk away from the industry, or they're gonna just better their craft. Surround themselves with brokers, other agents that are savvy, has system and process in places where they could learn, grow, and stay in the industry. Because at the end of the day, people are still gonna be buying,
Yep.
leasing, investing, but you got to stay there. So you got to educate yourself and show value. Right? I tell all my agents, you have to show value. Right? Like, why do I need to pay you a certain amount? When I'm buying, a Fending hat, I know what I'm gonna get. I know what the brand it calls. It's the brand. I'm paying for the brand power, right? When you walk in a room with these, like, oh, you got money.
Right.
So same thing with the agents. What's your value? What's your niche? Are you doing luxury? Are you helping people on the leasing side with apartments? Are you helping people invest? Do you have a relationship with an investor where you can raise money and invest in real estate? Like,
Right.
what value do you bring? So that's gonna fine tune, later on in the industry, but it's just gonna make us better.
I think this is an inflection point for the industry as a whole, because you're going to see the wheat from the chaff being separated.
And the interest rate is not helping either, right? Like, we thought, being that this year's an election year, we thought normally rates go down. So we was hoping it goes down to 6, 5, but it's still at the 7.2%. So that's challenging too. And with inflation and everything that's happening with the economy, a lot of people are struggling out there financially,
Right.
and they just can't afford to buy a home. So then what happens is that's less buyers. And sellers that are buying or have a low interest rate at 3%, they're not going to give that property up,
Yep.
right? Because their payments are low. And then if they go buy, now they got to buy something at a high interest rate. So it's challenging, but you just got to adapt, right? Adapt and just keep going with the punches.
If you're watching this video, you understand the value that the right information can have for your business. And when it comes to your marketing and branding, there is no room for error. That's why I created a simple step-by-step guide that'll teach you how to film professional looking content for your listings. It's specifically tailored to make you a more valuable member of your team. So if you're trying to save both time and money, click on the link in the description to find out more. Let's get back to our conversation. Speaking of adaptations, what are some of the strategies that agents can adopt to, make things a little easier for themselves?
Like I said, I think for them it'll be more to surround themselves with, a broker, a brokerage that would provide value, has the resources, the knowledge to push them, right, to educate them, how to run scripts, how to respond to certain questions that the consumer might have. Having a relationship.
Yeah.
I just joined the Texas Realtor Leadership Program, and I'm learning so much. I'm surrounding myself with other leaders in the industry. I'm surrounding myself with other brokers, other team leads, because yes, I've been in the industry for 8 years, but there's always room to grow.
Always.
Me, myself, and I'm the CEO and broker, right? So I got to humble myself and be like, hey, you know what? Let me jump on this program. Let me build some relationship. Let me learn from others. And then just make myself better, so then I can also, do that same with my agents.
That's amazing. So now that we've talked a little bit about agents, do you have any advice for, let's say you were just coming into the market right now, into the industry as we stand in 2024, right? You're looking back at young Rob.
Yep.
What would you tell him?
Master how to utilize your time. Time management it's huge. It's a huge part of your game. when you start, you're just looking for everything you can, right? You're taking every deal possible. I mean, I remember driving to Dallas, you know, to show properties and come right back to Houston just because I was hungry as an agent. I was hungry.
Yeah.
But now, as you get more seasoned, you get more experience, you know, and you start getting more deals, you start making more smarter decisions.
Right.
You know what? I'm gonna rather pay somebody to open a door and show it for like $50 rather than me traveling for 4 hours, because I'd rather allocate that time for something else. So I would say just utilize your time wisely, and then, yeah, just really just, you know, use your resources and connect with people, because you don't know who that next person might do to help you on the other side when, you know, you need help or you need an answer.
Now more than ever, it's seeming like this is a relationship
Yeah. Yep.
industry.
Yep.
And relationships and the connections that you make with others are what's going to decide whether or not you succeed or fail.
That's facts. That is 100% right.
For those of us who are buying these homes, it's more important than ever for us to call different people, call different agents.
Yep.
Make sure that you have the same standards of communication.
Yep.
Make sure that this person, do your research. Make sure that this person is thorough, because they're going to be representing you on something that is going to cost a lot of money.
Yep.
If you're a consumer thinking about buying, don't let interest rates stop you, because we might actually be in a low point in interest rate. They might raise it to 10, and then everyone's freaking out and wishing they bought a house in 2024.
Exactly.
We know people who are looking back at 2020 and they're like, dang, I should have bought. That's just the nature of the industry. So pick a time that works for you, and then find a person that also, you know, aligns with your values. And that is the best advice I can give to anyone.
I agree with you 100%. And I think you mentioned a key thing to that is educating yourself, right? And even if you're not ready to buy now, even if you set a goal, right? Like, okay, you know what? Let me pick up my credit score. Let me save a certain amount so I could then buy later on in the year. Like, do that too as well. But I think is educating yourself and then partnering up with the right realtor to help you throughout that process.
Absolutely. The idea was to take this before the interview, but we started so smoothly that we're just going to go ahead and end it off like this. But
Ooh, look at this, spicing things up.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, that was smooth.
Oh, yeah.
That was nice. But Rob, I really appreciate you taking the time for this conversation.
Yep.
You recently put out a post not too long ago on social media about this topic, but this is an avenue where we could get into the weeds.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. Like you said, it'll be something that it is gonna change the industry, but at the end of the day, the strong will survive. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, if you have any more questions, you can reach out to Rob Villanueva on Instagram.
Instagram at the Rob the TX Realtor. You can also call me 832-953-3700. I'm quick to respond. I'm easy to reach. So send me a DM. I'll be the one responding.
Awesome. Don't ask me for any real estate. I have
You
no idea.
You might as well get your license. You might as well get. You sound good.
Yo, there's only 24 hours in a day, and I'll leave that one to the professionals.
There
but
you go.
Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.